everybody. We are going to push the lab to next class when I'm back with you for the full class period for medical exploration. So on Wednesday, we'll do the homeostasis lab. We're just going to watch this video so you can get an inside idea of what's going to come up on Wednesday. So let's go through the first part of the lab, which always is where we keep our materials and important information that you need to know ahead of time. So experimental questions. What we're going to do in this lab is investigate these two questions. Number one, what mechanisms does the human body use to maintain homeostasis, which is the stable internal conditions, in changing external environments? Number two, how can we measure the effects of exercise and changes in homeostasis? So for this lab, you are going to be doing a little bit of exercise, and we're going to be recording some data to see how does our body respond when we do any sort of exercise. We have a big list of materials. For experiment number one, we just need a stopwatch. And for experiment number two, there's a lot more sciencey materials that you're going to be needing for that part. So for experiment one, let's talk about that one first, because we'll do that first on Wednesday. So experiment one's background information says, athletes are often very aware of homeostasis because as they exercise, the body finds ways to return itself to the appropriate internal conditions. For example, if they get too hot, they sweat. If their body isn't getting enough water, they feel thirsty. If their heart rate speeds up, it will eventually go back to its normal resting rate. The effects of exercise can also be measured and observed in change in skin color, perspiration, external body temperature, heart rate, and breathing rate. So for experiment number one, we're going to be, you can work in partners or groups, or we can all do the activity. It'll be up to you guys on Wednesday how we want to work that. And whoever is doing the exercise, we're going to be recording the following information about them. I'm going to get rid of that column, actually. We're not going to do that one. Whoop. Delete the column. Beautiful. So we're going to record body color. So what does your face look like? Is it warm, pink? Maybe it doesn't change at all. Are you perspiring when sweating? Is it low, medium, high, or are you dripping after a certain amount of time? Is your breathing rate changing? So how many breaths are you breathing in a minute? And is your heart rate changing? We will record how many beats per minute each after 2 minutes of exercise. And that exercise can be anything that you can handle for 2 minutes. Maybe jogging in place, jumping jacks, push-ups if you're crazy, burpees if you're really crazy. And we'll be doing that, and at the end we'll see how our bodies respond. All right, the second procedure is focusing on how when we exercise, we breathe in and out more. And that means we're bringing in more oxygen for our cells, and we're breathing out more carbon dioxide as a byproduct, as a waste product. When we breathe in, we fill our lungs with air, our rib cage expands, and we have a diaphragm, which is a muscle, which actually moves down to leave more space for air. And then when we exhale, the lungs contract, and the air gets pushed out because the diaphragm, the muscle, helps to push it out also. And that means when we exercise, we should ideally see that we are expelling more carbon dioxide. We can actually do this in an experiment to see just how much carbon dioxide we are expelling during exercise. So in this experiment, we're going to use something called bromothiamyl blue, which is a chemical that will change its color based on the acidity level. And when we breathe into it, it will change from the bright blue color you see here to a lighter greenish yellow color. And we'll time it to see how long does it take for the color to change while we're at rest, and then how long does it take to change after exercise. So that's two experiments on how we can test how homeostasis works in exercising conditions. And then we'll have some conclusion questions after that.